So this is our take on police chases that are on television. You've seen them. It seems to be a fascination with a lot of people, or some people, actually maybe just people who are a little bit mentally deficient. But Mark Jones is if there's a police chase on, Mark, you cannot speak with him. He's gone. He has to watch it to the end. Now,
and he drops whatever he's doing.
Yes, right.
Whatever, it doesn't matter what it is.
I will cancel a meeting with Steven Spielberg if there's a police chase.
Now, what is the fascination?
I'll tell you what it is.
I know it. I think I know.
I go back and forth with the channels. You know, if it's on all the channels, I'll
What do
go
you mean?
channel 4, channel 7.
because they have different camera angles.
Of course, they have different. The news covers it when it's on a big chase on all channels. I go back.
So why don't you just have different televisions? You could watch them all simultaneously.
Well, I was thinking.
You
about
have the
that.
money. You could do that. You could get
I was thinking about that.
and you could also do picture in picture.
You know what? I haven't figured out how to do it on my TV yet.
All right, go
but
ahead.
I'll tell you
On
why
and
I'm
off.
fascinated. I'll tell you why. It's the only thing that's absolute live, and you don't know what's going to happen.
That's what I was going to say.
Anything else? I like all the shows about crazy customers and police chases after the
Neighbors
fact and 911 calls. But this is live. It's happening and always happens in the San Fernando Valley. And you don't know what can happen. It can be a shootout. It can be nothing. It can be crashes.
What are you hoping for?
Oh, I don't want anybody to get hurt.
You
You know what I'm hoping?
Yeah,
No,
you
I
want-
hate.
You
I hate
want
the
somebody to
criminal.
be pitted.
You don't want them to get away.
I want the criminal
you don't want them to get
be
away.
pitted. I always say, do not hit a dog and do not hit a family in a car. But I
if
hope
you're smoking a cigar, don't throw it away.
Yes, because I
Right.
can smoke.
But-
you don't know what's going to happen. Anything can happen, and it's live.
I
But
think
now-
you do that
And a lot of people love it, by the way.
because you spent your life writing scripted television, and you want something that has no. You want to be surprised. You have no idea.
But you also
how it's
wanted to
gonna
be
turn
a
out.
cop.
Well, I was going to say, I want to be a cop.
He's got a hat, and he's got this sash.
He has
from
goggles
from like the
remember big goggles?
60s.
Anytime the power goes out in my neighborhood, I put on a hat and a badge and I run up and down the street and I
And you
ask
think
if
we're
you're-
joking.
You
No.
put on your
We're
dad's
kinda not.
airline.
No.
goggles.
I have a great affinity for cops. Ever since I was a little kid, I love cops. I used to have friends that were cops, and I would do ride-alongs, not in the back seat handcuffed, but actually in the passenger seat. And I like cops, and so I wanted to be one, and then I found out how dangerous it is, and so instead I went into the TV business. I could write about it.
Do you like when it's just a car chase, or do you like when they jump out of the car and it becomes a foot
Oh,
chase?
it's got to be a jump out, and if they bring a canine, I love the canines.
Okay, but we don't want the canine to get hurt.
Oh, you know what? I always get mad. I go, if that guy might have a gun, don't send the canine.
Okay.
Because I love, and most people will watch. You know, the ratings go way up at a police chase.
Really?
Write in and say if you like police chases or not. I bet you 80% love them.
That's why they let
You
it
don't
run in
care
the
at all.
programming. They'll
They'll
cut
cancel
yeah.
programming to show police chases.
I hate it.
I don't
I
get
hate
that.
it because
Why?
it's not necessary. Just stop the guy.
Well, they can't. They're not
they
allowed
can't.
to.
Oh, they
Wow.
can't. No, but that's my point.
Yes.
And we don't want to get political.
Right.
But somebody did something. You know the guy stole the car, or you know the guy did something bad. They can stop him. They can shoot the tires. They can get a car coming. I'm not a cop. I don't. And listen,
They can't ever
and I don't
shoot,
want
but
to make it easier than it is. I have tremendous respect. We all have tremendous respect for the police.
Yes.
And I don't think anything they do is easy, and they're good people. But I just think there's a way to just end it, because the people that are running are doing it because they want to get on camera.
Well,
I think
you
they
know
know
what-
they're on camera.
You know what they said? There was a show that they interviewed people who did police chases that were in jail.
Yeah.
And you know what they said? They said we just wanted to stay out as long as we could before we went to jail. And they knew they were going to get caught. And they had a little bit that maybe will get away. And very few do, but some do.
Yeah.
But you know the guys that pull into like a mall parking deck and park the car and run.
That's one of the-
that's the way to get away.
They have gotten away.
Nice, George.
But
Tell the criminals
yeah.
how.
not the uncovered parking. You have to go into the
Oh, wow, get into detail. No, you know what the problem is? They do have to be careful of
any
hurting
mall
other
will
people.
work. By the
Look,
way,
they can't start shooting tires because
Sure you can.
No, I used to say that, and then I talked to cops. They say because number one.
Why do they put the strip out?
Well, that's because the bullets can bounce and hit other people. I mean, usually they're
Okay,
chasing them.
good point. I'm
But the
looking at
script is
television
just
shows from the
flat.
70s.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly.
Tell me,
What?
you played a cop in one of your own films.
We got to
What was
show
the
that
fi-
clip.
What was the film? What was
That
the film?
clip you got to show. It was
And what did you say?
It's a movie I wrote and directed called Scorn with Annalyn McCord and Billy Zane.
You don't have
At the
to,
very-
push the movie. Just
I'm
tell
trying
them
to
what
push the
scene.
movie.
It's
I need
available
the
on
DVD.
Amazon
I need the DVD
and-
money. Anyway, I played a
Hulu, is that
cop.
where-
I played a cop finding a little dog because I love cops and I love dogs. It's the worst acting you've ever seen. We're going to show the clip. Found this dog. Poor thing was hiding in the back room.
Bootsy, there you are, sweetie. Oh, you must still be scared. That's okay, baby. Mama's here. Mama's here. I love you.
We'll take the dog. We'll take good care of him.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I never was a cop. And I had a full cop
Sir,
uniform.
I found your dog.
Dog. And by the way, I'm the
I found
oldest.
this dog
I found this
in the
dog.
closet.
And I actually, someone pointed out, they go, you know, at a guy your age, if you would have already advanced to detective and
Well,
gone
you did
higher
some
up.
bad stuff out in the field. So
I'm
knock
still
it
in a
down.
uniform, right? You know, the old guy in a uniform. Anyway.
Wait a minute, this was 30 years ago. When was Scorned?
14.
Oh, well, you were
Well,
old.
10
You were
10
old
years
then.
ago. I was still
You were
old.
old.
I was too old to be a patrol officer. Anyway.
No, but you got knocked down for doing some bad stuff out in the field with you know, you were talking, whatever you did.
No, I'd like to know what I did.
No, I was
I'd like to know what I
going to
did.
go a whole down a different rabbit hole.
we gotta-
Never
anyway.
mind. But I
Yeah.
still don't. I mean, it just seems silly to me. And see, I think if they didn't show it on the news, people wouldn't do it.
That's a good point.
I think part of that is true, but I'll tell you, they always had people run from cops. But because of the news choppers
Right.
and the instant stuff you can broadcast, people are fascinated. It really is true. Ratings will go so high when there's a big police chase. And sometimes, remember the San Bernardino killers? That was covered. Oh my God, every news organizations, and they were running from the cops. They killed the people at the Christmas party,
Oh,
those
yeah.
terrorists. It was horrible. And they were killed by, I think, San Bernardino sheriffs. And they showed that going on. And the bank robbery in
Oh yeah.
the famous one in North
When
Hollywood.
they were all loaded
Oh, right.
with
Yeah, well, that
those
was- that
guys
was-
were
That was
with-
they were all armed up with
Yeah.
with gear.
and they were shooting, and thank God they didn't kill anybody, but they were killed.
Tell me, didn't you think of, with your ride along, what Cops became, the TV show? Didn't you think of that prior to this?
I tried to
remember
pitch
the-
an idea called Ride Along, that you just follow cameras follow cops, and I could not sell it. And then 8 years later, Cops come out. So yeah, so the cops should pay me a little bit of a royalty.
Well,
People are fascinated
no,
with
I know
police
they are. I just
chases
find, I
and
just
police
find it.
action.
I just find it. You know, I feel bad. Look, I feel bad for the police. They're in a tough situation.
Oh, horrible.
But it just seems like it's just, again, I'll repeat myself, it's unnecessary to film it, and I think the media fuels it. I think, you know, they have, oh, he's this, and his sister called in, and his mother's over there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know, this is not a TV show. It's
But,
a
it,
guy
but it's
escaping
the
law.
only thing that's live that they can immediately broadcast that's a crime going on. Otherwise, you know, they would also film a bank robbery if they were there, but it's the thing that...
Well, they don't need that anymore because they have people with cell phones that were filming from
Oh,
the
good
inside.
point.
That's true. But I'm surprised you don't like it. It's funny. We'll say, hey, we're going to go smoke.
We text each other.
And I
Really?
go, there is
There's
a
a
police chase. I can't do it. Now, a friend of ours, David, loves the police chases with me, like I do. And
Okay. I just find
actually,
it.
David's right there.
I just find. I just
And you
find
don't
it.
care.
No, I don't. It's not that I don't
I'm
care.
right.
It's a bigger issue for me. It's law and order for me. That's all it is. It's law and order. I just
Okay.
want law and order. I don't.
Oh, I
go.
agree with
What?
that.
The last police chase we watched, we were smoking cigars at the lounge, and it came on, and we were watching it on 2 or 3 different TVs, different channels, with covering the same thing. And a helicopter was coming over the lounge.
Oh my
so
God! You must have gone
we
to
ran
the
out.
same.
Wait, let me tell you.
Yeah.
We ran out to watch it and went by, and then because it was going down
And
the
you ran
101.
back in?
101, and
Wait,
what did you know?
we were running back in, and I was in front, but I had gout, and I was limping, and he pushed me out of the way.
Pushed him to get
because I
back
gotta
to
go
the
back
TV.
there. He pushed me out of the way to get past me.
Honest to God. Almost. No,
I was
heard
going
his
like
foot.
real slow.
I remember that, George. I apologize. I said, I got to get back to the TV. It was, I'm fascinated with police chases.
Okay,
But,
I'm not. They are. And that's the name of that tune.
But we.
I have
we-
I
yeah.
wanted to ask you something else about the police
About
station.
police chases?
Yeah, let me think for a second. There was a point you told me where you
No,
driving.
wait. No, we're
yeah.
I see. Go ahead. Go.
You were driving up Cahuenga or something, and
I was going to
you
get
saw-
off at Barham. Or
Yeah.
no, Cahuenga. I was gonna
And there
get
was
off.
you saw a cop struggling
What the hell
on
were
the
you doing over there?
side of the
I
road.
was going to my girlfriend's house, Catherine.
Wow. What girl?
Catherine.
You drove from Woodland Hills to Barham?
She lived in Hancock Park.
You drove to
Oh my
Hancock
God.
Park
I would
from
go down
Woodland
to-
Hills?
She adored her. Yeah, she still.
You lived in, where did you live then? In
Woodland,
Encino?
Woodland Hills.
In this house?
Yes, I did live in this house. Yes, that's right. That was
And
it.
you drove, wow.
Yeah, it was.
Wow.
You know what? She's a sweetheart. She's
Okay.
married and has kids.
All right, go ahead.
Mark
yeah.
actually saw this struggle going on the side of the freeway and stopped his car and got out and got involved.
And it was a policeman
There was a highway patrol. He was wrestling
on
with this.
on Cahuenga?
No, you know that thing just before you get to Cahuenga? It's like a weird wide thing that
Cahuenga
he had
Boulevard
pulled
West.
over
That's what
on
it
the 101 or the Hollywood Freeway.
Yeah, I know where it is,
And they
yeah.
pulled over, and there was on ramp, a section, and the freeway, and the cop was sitting there wrestling.
The median right there.
The media, yeah, and he was wrestling with this guy who was handcuffed. He had gotten his handcuffs in front of him.
Oh, wow.
And he was wrestling, and nobody would stop. And I pulled over and parked in front of his car, and I got out.
When was this?
2002.
Because they'll sue you now.
Yeah,
The
I
bad
think-
guy
well,
will sue you now. But go
oh,
ahead.
probably. So I stopped and I walked up and I said, "Hey, I'm a good citizen. Do you need any help?" I didn't want him to think I was a buddy.
Right.
And the guy was like screaming and all this stuff, and the cop was so relieved that he said, "I got him." He sort of had him, and he started to take another pair of cuffs and he said, "Just watch my back." I said, "Okay." He had already put out a call, and I remember I just stood there and I said, "Okay, I'll watch your back." And all of a sudden, these highway patrol motorcycle guys and cars came.
And they
were
arrested you.
No, but I was afraid because the guy put, officer needs help.
Yeah.
And I'm going,
You start crying?
no, a little bit. I got into a fetal position and I did that. And I remember I said, "Should I put my hands up?" Because I didn't want the guys coming because I said, he goes, "No." And I remember when they jumped out, this motorcycle, big motorcycle cop, highway patrol, jumped out. And the cop said he was helping me, or he's a good citizen, and
You must have really cried.
so no, I remember, but
I'm a good citizen.
Oh,
I get a badge.
hey,
I need a badge.
they let me sit in the patrol car.
You pet his dog in the car.
Anyway,
Let
so
you sit- let
anyway,
you play with the radio and the lights.
They got, they're making fun of me, and I always wanted to be a cop. Anyway, they thanked me. They got the guy in
Did
the
you get a
thing.
commendation?
No, I tell you what happened.
Well,
The
please
guy's
go.
name was Rocky.
Because you don't talk enough. Please tell us what
Oh, we're going to get to that in a second. I talk too much.
Go ahead.
They took my name and number and everything, and I got a letter to be a witness.
Oh, that's it.
But also that I got a separate letter from the DA at the time, was Rocky somebody, and he said, "We want to thank you. A lot of citizens don't do it, and it was very nice of you." So I got a letter, and that was my interaction with a police officer.
Well, I applaud you because most people now will take out their camera and film it. And
Yeah.
the cop's getting his ass kicked. And they're
Oh,
just filming it,
yeah.
looking at it, and watching it. And the cop might get shot, and they're filming it and looking at it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just unbelievable. I think people are afraid to get involved in anything, and I don't know if it's because because everything is so litigious now, or
Partly.
I mean I don't know. I don't know. I mean I'd like to think that I would help a cop.
I think
that
you
was-
would, and I think you would, George. I think most of our friends would. I know that there are people, I see videos where citizens jump out and help a cop.
Yeah.
Because they have all these cop videos on YouTube. And more people than you think absolutely do it. But it is amazing how you'll see people stand around
I know.
and film and not do it. And I'm going, this cop is wrestling, and the guy's trying to get his gun, and nobody will help. But there are a number of people who do
All right,
stop.
good.
If you were helping when that was going on and your phone alert went on and there's a police chase,
I would have run home to the TV, and I would have left the cop on his own if there's a police.
All
there.
right, then.
That's funny.
That's fine.
That's
All
fine.
right, that's it. That's a,
See up my nose with the